students. So we continue with our topic chromatography. Next type of chromatography is gel filtration chromatography. It's also called size exclusion chromatography. Size exclusion chromatography because the different particles are separated on the basis of their molecular size. So this is the chromatographic column, and this chromatographic column is filled with a porous gel. Usually the gel is agarose gel or gel most commonly used are either agarose gel or polyacrylamide gel or dextran gel. The dextran gel, for example, this gels which contains pores, this should be tightly cross-linked. At the same time, it must have enough pore size so that the small molecules in the molecular mixture gets trapped into the pores. So there should be tight cross-linking between the gel molecules. At the same time, the gel should have enough pore size to trap the small molecules. Then the mixture is added into this chromatographic column. The small molecules will get entrapped into the pores present in the gel, while the larger molecules will be easily eluted out. They will pass out from the chromatographic column. Finally, as we are seeing in the last step, the large molecules, they are eluted out, while the smaller molecules, they are retained inside the gel of column chromatography. This is mainly used for separation as well as for purification of proteins based on their molecular size and molecular weight. Type of chromatography is high performance liquid chromatography. In high performance liquid chromatography, there is a column tubular column is there, and this column is packed with incompressible silica or alumina beads, and these beads serve as the stationary phase. Then the liquid mixture, of which different components are to be separated, is passed at a very high atmospheric pressure, around 1000 times the normal atmospheric pressure. Gradually, the molecules will get attached with these microbeads, while the smaller molecules, they will be eluted out. This high performance liquid chromatography is also called high pressure liquid chromatography. High pressure liquid chromatography because the liquid mixture is passed through the chromatographic column at a very high pressure. And finally, the different components of the mixture can be easily separated. It has been used as a very good research tool for, number one, for separation of different proteins in a mixture. purification of proteins in a mixture. Then even the hemoglobin variants have been studied with the help of high performance liquid chromatography. Hemoglobin variants. In this process of HPLC, within minutes and with a very fine high resolution, latest most important research as well as diagnostic tool as in the chromatography, as we have studied in different types, that is HPLC or high performance liquid chromatography. This is the best type nowadays used. Chromatography is the ion exchange chromatography. This is based on the separation of different charged biological molecules. This is so in this case, the chromatographic column is, first of all, it contains a agarose gel or cellulose beads in which there are positive charges on the surface. In case of cation exchange resins, there are two types of resins used in ion exchange chromatography. It can be cation exchange resins, which will be positively charged. Cation exchange resins will be positively charged, or it can be anion exchange resins, which are negatively charged. In ion exchange chromatography, agarose or cellulose beads are present. In cation exchange chromatography, as we have studied in this picture, these beads contain positive charge. So, when the molecular mixture of which is to be separated is passed through this chromatographic column, suppose the components are A and B, the component A carries negatively charged, so it will bind very tightly to these cation exchange resins which are positively charged, while the positively charged B component will repel, and when this mixture will be passed through this chromatographic column, since the positively charged B particles will not get attached to these positively charged resins, they will easily get eluted out, while the negatively charged A particles, as we are seeing, negatively charged A particles, since they bind tightly to these positively charged cation exchange resins in the column, they will be left behind. So this is very widely used for separation of variously charged biological molecules in a mixture. For example, nucleic acids. For a mixture of nucleic acids and proteins, different proteins. Nucleic acids, as we all know, they are negatively charged. While proteins, first of all, we achieve isoelectric pH for this mixture, so they will exist as zwitter ions carrying no net charge. At isoelectric pH, when this mixture will be passed through this chromatographic column, the nucleic acids being negatively charged will remain attached to the positively charged cations. So they will be upwards, while the proteins as sweeter ions carrying neutral charge or no charge will be easily eluted out. So this is the ion exchange chromatography. Now, what are the commonly used anions used in ion exchange chromatography, and what are the commonly used cations? First, cations, that is positively charged. The common one used are Na positive, while the anions most commonly used are carboxylic acid group, that is COO negative, or sulfonic acid group. Discuss in detail how this will happen. Suppose we are separating a mixture of proteins by ion exchange chromatography by using these anions with COO negative. This is the chromatography. These are the alumina microbeads, and which have been on their surface there is COO negative. These proteins, since these proteins have carbon atoms, this COO negative, and this will there will be binding with Na positive. So there will be formation of COO negative, Na positive. The C atoms present in the proteins will form C positive. So there will be binding of proteins. Depending, we are using a mixture of different proteins at a specific pH. Certain proteins will exist as positively charged, depending upon their amino acid content. Some proteins, they will exist as negatively charged at a specific pH. When this mixture of proteins will be passed through the column of ion exchange chromatography, we have used, in this case, anions. So proteins which are positively charged at that specific pH will be retained. Suppose there is protein 1, highly negatively charged, protein 2, less negatively charged, protein 3, a bit negatively charged, protein 4, highly positively charged. Since anions have been used, the highly positively charged protein 4, I make a bigger diagram. These are the negatively charged anions. The proteins which are highly positively charged, they will remain attached to these pores, while the proteins which are highly negatively charged, they will be eluted out. Because negative, they will repel each other. So depending upon the less positive protein will move a little further, while in this sequence. So the protein with highest negative charge will have the highest mobility in case of anion exchange chromatography, while the proteins with highest positive charge will be retained inside these pores. So this ion exchange chromatography exploits the charge on biological molecules. Type of chromatography is the affinity chromatography. In this case, a glass chromatographic column is used, and these immunoglobulins this is just one example. In this case, immunoglobulins have been fixed on this inner lining of this glass chromatographic column. Then a mixture of different antigens are added. Then, depending upon the antigen antibody specificity, the specific antigens, in this case, as has been showed by yellow ones, the yellow antigens which are specific for binding to those immunoglobulins which have been linked to the glass column, they will bind, while others, they will be eluted out in the next step. So in the next step, as we are seeing, only those specific antigens will be retained inside the column, while the unwanted other antigens, they will be eluted out. And finally, only the antigens we needed, those specific antigens, they can be easily separated and collected. So in this chromatography, affinity chromatography, this exploits the basis of affinity of selective affinity of a component of mixture towards a particular substance which lines the chromatographic column. This is one example in which the specific antigen has been separated. Similarly, we can do separation of specific immunoglobulins by, if we know the antigen to which it is specific. The same way, the antigen will be coated on the inner surface of this chromatographic column. The mixture of immunoglobulins will be passed through it. I just make a diagram. Suppose we need to separate a mixture of, we need to separate a particular immunoglobulins from a mixture of immunoglobulins. Then here we add the mixture of different immunoglobulins. Then in next step, the immunoglobulin which is specific for binding to this particular antigen will be attached while the other immunoglobulins will remain as such. Then in next step, the unwanted immunoglobulins are eluted. Only the attached ones are remained. Then finally, the wanted immunoglobulins can be easily separated and purified. Similarly, it has also been used for separation of many other proteins. The main use of affinity chromatography is for separation of antigens from a mixture or for separation of particular specific immunoglobulins in a mixture. Thank you.